Hello and welcome to Bowling 2.0, where better bowling is only 4 weeks away. I'm Bart Berger with the Bowling Proprietors Association of America. Welcome. Regardless if you're a new bowler, haven't been bowling for some time, or an occasional bowler just wanting to learn the basics and improve your game, you're in the right spot. You're about to join the bowling movement and be part of America's largest participation sport. That's right, over 70 million Americans bowl each year, making bowling the largest participation sport in the United States. We're here at the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas, inside the ITRC, the International Training and Research Center, where members of our coaching staff will be joining you each week along with the coach at your participating bowling center to share with you everything you need to know about making bowling a lifetime sport. Joining us today to get things started is Carolyn Doran Ballard, who's truly one of the best female bowlers of all time. She's won 22 professional titles, been named Bowler of the Decade, and is a USBC Hall of Fame member. Welcome, Carolyn.
Thanks, Bart. Hey, we are ready to rock and roll. Bowlers, let me tell you what you're going to learn over the next 4 weeks. Besides having fun, you're going to learn the fundamentals of bowling. You're going to learn how to make those spares, you know, the pins that you always leave and you don't know where to stand to make them. You're going to learn about how to have a loose arm swing so that you strike more often. And you're going to learn about bowling etiquette and even how to get your own equipment if you feel you want to get your own ball and your own shoes. We are ready to have you have a lot of fun out there on the lanes.
Excellent. Thank you, Carolyn. You're in great hands with Carolyn and the coaching team here. You're also in great hands with the coach at your local bowling center. So hey, let's get started. And remember, most importantly, let's have some fun.
Before you get started getting on the approach and rolling your ball down the lane, you're going to have to go to the control counter or the front desk and get a pair of rental shoes. Just want to give you a little bit of a safety tip. These shoes, this part here needs to stay dry. You don't want any powder, you don't want this part getting wet, because what that does is it does not allow the shoe to slide on the approach and allow you to perform your approach and get good leverage into the line. So be careful when you're in the bowler's settee area and make sure that there aren't any drinks on the floor or any powder that can get on the shoe and inhibit your approach. Before we get you out on the approach and on that lane to throw the ball, we're going to learn a little bit about where to line up and what these markings are on the approach and on the lane and how they can help you be a better bowler and enjoy the sport. There are two sets of dots on the approach. These dots are used for when you're trying to line up to hit the head pin, which is also referred to as the pocket. You might be standing in the middle of the lane. You may have to move a little to the right. You may have to move a little to the left. Using these dots on the approach will help you remember where your strike target is and where your spare shot is. As we move up the approach, there's another set of dots right in front of the foul line. These dots are also used for getting lined up and for targeting purposes. Now, one important factor, this foul line. Do not cross over the foul line. That nasty buzz means you're going to get 0 for the frame. Not only that, you don't want to cross the foul line because remember, there's conditioner on the lanes and you don't want to slip. We have stripped this lane so that I can show you how to target and what is on the lane that you can look at. As we go down the lane, there's another set of dots that people use for targeting for both your strike shot and your spare shooting. As we get further down the lane, there's a set of arrows, which is almost to the middle part of this lane that's pretty far down there. So usually the dots or the arrows is where most people target to make it easy for them to see. If you want to target further down the lane, we have range finders way down here, and you can also use this for your strike or your spare shot. Now, one of the other keys you can use, especially since you are a new bowler, is a lot of people like to look at the pins when they're trying to knock them down. This is okay too. Targeting is a personal preference, and we have just given you a lot of options.
Hi everyone, my name is Herman Glenn. I'm the Director of Equipment Specifications and Certifications here at USBC. Today I'd like to show you some of the different types of lane material you'll be bowling on. First off, we have wood. This is the oldest surface in what some centers still have today. It's the softest and gives you the most curve to your ball. As time went on with maintenance issues and the lane started wearing out, they went to lane shield, which actually was applied to this surface. And after that comes the synthetic lanes, which you'll see more today in most of the centers that you go to.
Now that we're inside the bowling center and getting ready to bowl, we have to find a ball that fits us. Sometimes they're a little too heavy, sometimes they're a little light, and the finger holes and thumb hole really never fit. What do these bowling balls do for us?
These bowling balls are house balls. They're designed just to be recreational play. They're plastic bowling balls. They're going to go straight down the lane. They're not going to react like the high-end performance stuff you may see. The holes are important to understand that they basically just plug in a basic fit, a small, a medium, and a large size. So you don't get a custom fit that may be a little too big, like you mentioned, maybe a little too small, but ultimately you want to find one that's close and comfortable just so that you can get the ball off your hand comfortably.
Well, we have a few tips that'll help you pick out a ball that's comfortable for you to use.
Okay, you've got your lane, and it's time to choose the correct bowling ball. Two important things to remember here. Number one, you want to make sure you get a bowling ball that's approximately 10% of your body weight to begin with. So if you're 100 pounds, a 10-pound ball. If you're 140 pounds, a 14-pound ball. The center is going to have multiple choices for you to choose from. The second thing is the importance of the fit. When you put your hand inside the bowling ball, you want to make sure the fingers fit comfortably. Not too big and not too small so that you can hold on to the ball, but just in that comfortable position so it's easy for you to release the ball when you're going through your approach.
How do you place your hand in the ball? I'm going to show you the proper way to do it. If you're using a house ball, you want to make sure you pick it up from the sides. What we're going to do today is we're going to place our fingers into the second joint and then roll the ball onto our thumb all the way so it sits all the way onto your thumb. This is a good way to grip a house ball or a conventional fit. If you have your own custom bowling ball, you might be able to go up in weight because it's going to be a perfect fit for your hand. This is a fingertip grip. This time only my fingertips are going to go in first to the first joint, and then I'm going to roll it all the way onto my thumb. This helps if you want to learn how to hook the ball.
You've got a lot of information on bowling balls. We're going to review the two kinds of bowling balls that you possibly can use to make your bowling experience fun. The house ball, the ball that you're going to have in the bowling center where you're getting ready for competition or just going to have fun with your friends or to bowl league. This is a plastic bowling ball or a polyester bowling ball. It's not going to hook very much. It's going to go really straight, and the majority of the time this is drilled with a conventional grip. That's what also helps this ball go straight down the lane. The other bowling ball is one that you may get after week 4. This ball here is a reactive bowling ball. This is what's going to give you a little bit more hook or curve into that head pin. This one is going to be drilled for your hand, custom fit. And this is the one that's going to allow you to get to the next level of bowling. Choosing that right ball can be a little difficult, but I'm going to give you one more little tip to try and make it a little more comfortable. For that house ball, pick up a lighter weight first, say 10 pounds, 10% of your body weight. So if you're 100 pounds, it would be a 10-pound ball. And just put your elbow next to your side and hold that ball in your palm. If the ball doesn't move and it's steady, that weight is perfect for you. If it moves around a little bit and you feel that where you have to grab it, it's a little bit too heavy, go down in weight. Same thing for when you're getting that personally fitted ball. They will hold that ball in your hand to see if that weight is right for you. I know we're all here to bowl and roll the ball down the lane, but there's so much more to the sport of bowling. It's a sport, and in any sport you have to keep yourself in shape and make sure you do the right things so that you don't get injured. What are some of the things we can do in bowling before we start to get out there?
Well, it's very important because bowling is an athletic activity. You got to make sure when you're warming up, and we've learned that you need to do dynamic warm-up. Dynamic warm-up simply gets the body's core warmed up and gets the blood flowing to the larger muscle groups because we're going to compete with those large muscle groups, the leg muscles, the arm muscles. So we do dynamic warm-ups to begin with, and then we get on the approach and start to bowl.
So I don't want you to be embarrassed, but really the bowler's area, the settee area, is a great place to do a few of those before you get out there for your competition, correct?
Correct. It's the right place to do it. It's right before competition. It's right when you're getting ready to compete or recreationally play. It's the right place to do it. And like any other sport, you do it right before you get ready to play. So the bowler circle is definitely the place to go compete, go warm up. Okay, here's some examples of what we can do to warm up before we bowl. Arm circles are very simple to do. We start going forward, we simply roll at the shoulders and get our arms going forward, and then we go the opposite direction, we go backward. One other exercise are torso twists. With our hands in by our side, we basically just bend at the torso, back and forth. We can also do leg swings. Standing on one leg, we swing the opposite leg back and forth. We make sure and do this to both sides on each of the exercises. One of the things that also gets the body real warmed up is to do running in place.
When starting your approach in bowling, the stance, your start, is the most important, and you need to be comfortable. What are some of the key components, Coach Stephen, to help with a good stance?
Well, there's two things that are really important when it comes to the stance. Number one is balance. From the shoulders to the knees, everything being balanced over the top of the footwork in relationship to where you're holding the ball is going to be essential when it comes to starting a good approach. To go along with that is going to be posture. Making sure your posture stays the same from your start position all the way through to your finish position is very important when it comes to balancing your approach.
So these key components in your start will lead you to a good finish.
Every bowler is going to be a little different in finding their starting position on the approach. Teresa is going to begin by showing us how to find the appropriate start position for a basic four-step approach. She's going to walk to the foul line, place her heels on the set of dots, and she's simply going to take 4.5 steps back from the foul line, and once she takes her half step, she'll pivot on her toe, and this will be her approximate starting distance from the foul line. Because everybody's a little different size, everyone's going to start in a little different position on the approach. So it's important to make sure you understand where your starting position is. Go to the foul line, set of dots, 4.5 steps back, pivot on that last step, turn around, and that's going to be your approximate distance to start for your beginning position on the approach. Okay, let's start with the foundation, the four-step approach. This is the basic thing you want to know when you're getting into learning how to get the ball off your hand comfortably from start to finish. Teresa's going to help demonstrate for us. She's found a starting position that's comfortable from the foul line. She's going to begin with her balance over her feet. Her knees are slightly bent and the ball will be placed in front of her body so that she's balanced and ready to perform her shot. Her first step is going to have the bowling ball and the ball side foot move at the same time. They're going to move out at the same position. Her second step is going to be the non-ball side foot where the ball comes down by her side. The third step of her approach will have the top of her backswing, and now the fourth step will be her slide, and when she releases, her non-ball side foot will be behind her and come behind so that it's balanced at the bottom of her release. It's important to be stable and have a good foundation when you finish your shot. A four-step approach will really add pins to your game. We've just learned about the four-step approach. Let's take a quick recap and understand those steps again and understand some places we may want to be careful of when we're talking about it. In a four-step approach, the first place is the stance and our balance. We want to make sure that when we start, we've got everything comfortably over our footwork. In our start position, when we move our ball side and the ball side foot at the same time for step number one, we want to make sure that that's a smooth, rounded position. We don't want to lock our arms straight out in front of us. We don't want the ball to fall too fast. We want a nice, smooth, rounded position going into that swing. Through steps 2 and 3, we need to remember that the ball swings freely from our ball side shoulder. It swings from our shoulder nice and loose, and we try to keep a free arm swing throughout the approach. Now the finish position is where the big key is. We want to really nail that position and make sure we're solid. So when we get to the finish position, we make sure that we follow through all the way to our target and toward our pins. We make sure our opposite arm has good balance for our body positioning. And we make sure that once we follow through, we finish the shot with our elbow all the way over our shoulder. That's going to make sure we extend our follow through all the way toward those targets and those pins. So, take your game to the next level, take the four-step approach, and make it part of your game. Okay, it's important to look both directions when you're getting onto your approach for lane courtesy. It's very important to be safe in this environment and know that there's no one on your left and no one on your right when you step up to take your approach. Once you've stepped into your starting position and you're ready to go, you'll throw your shot. Remember to follow through toward your target and make sure that you hold that balance position so that you're comfortable and you execute a good shot. You've got some information about the game in regards to safety. We've talked about where to start on the approach. We've talked about the four-step approach. For any further questions about what you've learned, check your reference guide.